Have you ever wondered what's actually going on inside your body when you decide to quit sugar? We're not just talking about weight loss. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible 30-day recovery story of one of your body's most important players, your kidneys.
So, let me just ask you this. Are your body's most critical bodyguards working overtime totally behind the scenes without you even knowing it? I'm talking about your kidneys. They're these silent, tireless protectors that might just be under attack from something we all eat every single day.
To really get a sense of how hard these organs work, just look at this number. Every single day, your kidneys filter nearly 50 gallons of blood. I mean, that is an absolutely staggering amount of work, and it's exactly why sugar can become such a huge problem for them.
All right, so how does sugar fit into this picture? Well, it all starts with what I call sugar's silent overload. It's this hidden danger that puts these vital organs right in the crosshairs.
Okay, so on a good day, your kidneys are these incredibly efficient master filters. But when you start flooding your system with excess sugar, they're forced into overdrive. And this isn't just some minor inconvenience. It literally changes how they work, putting them under constant high stress in a state called hyperfiltration.
The technical term for this is glomerular hyperfiltration. And, it almost sounds like a good thing, right? Hyper, like it's filtering more blood. But it is so damaging. This analogy here is perfect. It's like revving your car's engine at max RPM all day, every single day. You just can't do that forever. Eventually, that engine is just gonna burn out.
And here's the really scary part. Your kidneys don't complain. They don't send up little warning flares when they're in trouble. In fact, this statistic is just wow. A lot of people only find out they have a problem after 70%, 70, of their kidney function is already lost for good.
So what happens when you finally decide to break this cycle? Well, something pretty fascinating happens in those first 72 hours. Because what you feel on the outside, it's the total opposite of the amazing stuff that's happening on the inside.
Let's be real, those first 3 days can be tough, really tough. You might get the headaches, the mood swings, those killer cravings. That's just your brain, throwing a bit of a tantrum because it's been deprived of its usual easy fuel source. But while all that drama is happening up there,
down in your kidneys, they're quietly throwing a party. Seriously, the research shows that the intense pressure on their filters, that hyperfiltration we talked about, it starts to drop almost immediately. So that discomfort you're feeling, that's actually the sound of a massive victory for your kidneys.
Okay, so you've powered through that initial rough patch. What's next? This is where we get to the really good stuff, your 30-day transformation, where the benefits start to stack up and spread through your entire system. Over the course of just 1 month, you're going to see 3 huge wins start to emerge. We're talking lower blood pressure, less water retention and bloating, and a much lower risk for those painful kidney stones. Let's break down how it works.
So here's exactly how it happens. When you eat a lot of sugar, your insulin levels spike way up. That insulin then sends a direct message to your kidneys telling them to hang on to sodium and water. And what's the result? Higher blood pressure and that puffy, bloated feeling. But when you cut the sugar, you break that whole chain.
And what about kidney stones? A lot of us blame things like salt, but sugar is a really sneaky accomplice. See, a high sugar diet actually increases the amount of calcium that gets dumped into your urine. And all that extra calcium can then crystallize and turn into, you guessed it, painful kidney stones.
All right, let's get a little bit nerdy for a second and talk about how your kidneys actually heal themselves. Because this isn't just about giving them a break. It's about giving them a chance to actively run their own repair crews. I love this analogy. Think of your nephrons. Those are the tiny little filters in your kidneys. Think of them like the roads in a big city. Years and years of heavy, high-sugar traffic causes potholes and cracks and damage. But when you stop the traffic, you finally give a construction crew the chance to come in and start patching up the roads. That is exactly what your kidneys are doing during a sugar-free month. And look, this healing process isn't just some nice theory. You can actually see the results. A high-sugar diet sparks body-wide inflammation, which is terrible for your kidneys. But as you can see here, inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein can drop, and drop significantly after just 30 days. Less inflammation literally means less ongoing damage.
And this has this amazing ripple effect throughout your whole body. When you cut sugar, your insulin sensitivity gets better, which means your body can manage glucose with way less effort. That takes a huge load off your pancreas. And, critically, it directly lowers your risk of diabetic kidney disease, which is one of the top causes of kidney failure in the world.
So that brings us to the big picture. What happens after the first month is over? Because this whole thing is about so much more than just a 30-day experiment.
It's so important to think of this 30-day period not as the finish line, but as the starting line. It's like a trial run that proves to you, in your own body, just how powerful this change can be. It gives you all the evidence you need to make a real long-term choice.
And that really brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. It's this simple phrase: moderation protects, elimination heals. Look, having an occasional sweet treat isn't going to wreck your kidneys, but that daily, constant excess, it will. This 30-day break shows you the incredible difference between the two.
So, that leaves you with a question, a really powerful one. The 30-day trial is over. You felt the benefits for yourself. You understand the science behind it. The question is, what's your lifelong decision going to be?